everybody, welcome back to another YouTube video. I'm Rachel Takeman and I'm trying to better myself in 2020 by tackling a new goal every month and tracking it all through YouTube videos. Thanks for tuning in to another video. I hope you all are doing well in this strange time of social distancing and quarantine. If you haven't yet, click the subscribe button down below so that you don't miss a video. So last week I told you guys all about how the coronavirus impacted our travel plans. If you haven't seen that video yet, click the link at the top of the screen. But even though we were really disappointed that we couldn't go to London, and we had some other disappointments the last few days of our trip, we had such an amazing time in Ireland, and we're so lucky that we got to see all that we did. So today I'm super excited to share all the highlights with you. Where are we, Just?
Lisboa.
Lisboa. Our favorite things in Lisbon were the amazing viewpoints you could find for free all over the city. It's quite a hilly city, so there's plenty of good views.
Now that's some high quality H2O. Brother Hubbard is a restaurant just down the street from our Airbnb in Dublin. It was amazing. If you want the best Irish breakfast and a super chill place to eat, you have to go there. Our favorite things in Dublin were just all the amazing pubs on every corner. But we also loved touring the Guinness Storehouse and Teeling Whiskey. Guinness had the most amazing view of the city and the best tasting Guinness that I've ever had. And Teeling had a really in-depth tour of the history of whiskey in Dublin, and their bar had the best whiskey cocktails I've ever had. What am I supposed to do with the key?
The king on the north.
Giant's Causeway in Northern Ireland was my favorite thing that we saw on the whole trip. It was absolutely breathtaking. We also loved going to Castle Ward in Downpatrick, which is where they shot many of the Winterfell scenes of Game of Thrones. If you're a Game of Thrones fan and you want to see where it was filmed, I definitely recommend going there. Our first few days of having a car was terrifying. If you're not used to driving on the left side, I'm not sure that I'd recommend renting a car. It definitely got better after the first 2 days, but Irish roads are super narrow, which made the countryside terrifying, and the city roads are really confusing, which made the city drives terrifying. It's easy to get around Ireland going city to city using trains and buses, but not as easy, or at least not as quick, to get to other places like Giant's Causeway or the Dark Hedges. It was nice having the freedom to drive wherever we wanted, but if you're looking into going to Ireland, definitely explore your options with public transportation city to city, and then bus tours outside the city that take you to the smaller places you want to see. The stress of driving a rental car might not be worth it.
Welcome to County Louth. Drogheda, Dundalk, Dublin. You speak Irish, do you? Castlebrook, Republic of Ireland. I want like a nice Guinness.
Cork is a really cool city, and I wish we could have seen it in normal times so we could have gone to the most interesting pubs and breweries and gone outside the city to kiss the Blarney Stone. But our treehouse Airbnb was the highlight of our stay in Cork. I highly recommend staying here and chatting with the host.
We did it.
We saw the cliffs. They're back there.
We saw, we conquered. We're alive.
pretty disappointed with how little we were able to see of Galway itself, but on the way to Galway we went to the Cliffs of Moher. The pictures and videos are amazing, but they don't do it justice. It was the rainiest, windiest, most miserable day when we were there, and yet it was still completely awe-inspiring. On our way out of Galway, we still went to see Menlo Castle. Menlo Castle was cooler than I even expected it would be. So a couple of other travel recommendations based on our experience. This was our first time traveling in Europe on our own, without a group, so we are by no means experts. But there's a few things that we didn't really know before going, and a few oversights that we wish we knew or paid more attention to. Number one, read your plane tickets very carefully, especially if you book using a third-party website. We booked our tickets using justfly.com, and our flight to Dublin was with TAP Air Portugal. Everything I read on the TAP Air Portugal website said that all tickets included one checked bag. But once we got to the desk at the airport, we were told that since we booked outside of TAP Air Portugal's website, our ticket did not include a checked bag, and it was a $110 fee. This definitely could have been avoided if I just looked into it on justfly.com, and if you pay for a bag in advance, it's so much cheaper than it is at the airport. So this was an oversight on my part and a mistake I won't make again. Second recommendation is to bring all your cards with you. On the day we were packing, I didn't want too many cards to make my wallet too full, so I decided to just bring my 2 credit cards. The first oversight in this was not bringing any of Justin's cards. I forgot that I booked the rental car using his card since he was the one driving. This oversight made it much more complicated at the rental car desk. Another reason it was a mistake just to bring my credit cards was because we had no way to get more cash. We didn't bring a ton of euros and pounds with us because everything I read online made it sound like most of these cities use credit cards for anything. But I forgot in the craziness of packing that our backup plan, if we did run out of cash, was to use our debit card at an ATM and just deal with the fees later. We did run out of cash since almost nothing in Lisbon was electronic, and we used half of our euros on the first day. It would have been much easier if I just brought my debit card just in case. And my third recommendation is to find cheaper Airbnbs outside the city that are close to a bus stop or train station. After our first day with the rental car in Belfast, we figured out pretty quickly that we wanted to avoid driving in the city at all costs, and we didn't realize how easy public transportation is. We Americans aren't really used to that, so we didn't think about that when booking our Airbnbs. But we could have saved some money if we looked for places outside the city center and paid attention to bus stops and especially train stations. We had such an amazing time in Ireland, and we learned so much about traveling on our own. I hope that these tips and recommendations helped you guys, as I know they would have helped me. Thanks for following along with our travel and praying for our safety throughout the trip and especially the unexpected journey home. So for the month of April, I had a few goals to choose from, but honestly this social distancing has made the decision for me since we can only leave the house for work. This month my goal will be self-care. I've mentioned before that my overall goal for the year is to become more well-rounded. For me that means physically, spiritually, relationally, and mentally. I have lots of hobbies and other things that I enjoy that I just don't usually do because life gets in the way. I'm going to focus on my mental health every day by doing something for self-care. And I'd encourage you to join me too. Make a list of all the things you love to do but don't make time for, and do something for yourself every day, even if it's as simple as taking a bath or organizing your sock drawer. I'm going to use this time to focus on my mental health, so when all of this is over, I can say that I made the best of it and created good habits during social distancing. And I hope you guys can do the same. Thank you so much for watching my videos. If you like this video, click the thumbs up button below and comment down below what place in Ireland you would most like to go to. If you haven't yet, click the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss a video. Tune in next week to learn how my self-care goal is going. I hope you guys have an awesome week, and I'll see you next week.